Movement Monday, episode 2. Today, we're going to go over the rotational deadlift and the rotational lunge. On their own, the deadlift, or a hip hinge pattern, and the lunge are in the top 10 of all fitness exercises, probably even in the top 5, depending who you ask. So these are excellent exercises, and these are just a little variation that we do to make them more quote-unquote golf-specific, and I love these two variations, but I still put in traditional deadlifts, traditional lunges into all of my programs. So let's get into it. To start, you can either use dumbbells or kettlebells for these exercises. Doesn't really matter which one you choose, whatever you have available. I'm a little more biased to the kettlebell sometimes. I just like the way it feels. I like how you can rack it up here in the front rack position to work your core a bit more. But you can also do that with dumbbells, and I'll show you how to do both of those. So without further ado, let's get into it. The rotational deadlift is going to be up first. So if you got to think about the big cues that we're looking for in the deadlift itself, we want to get into the hip. So the deadlift meaning it's going to be more of a hip dominant exercise. So we want to hinge into the hip, loading the glutes, loading the hip, feeling it in the hamstrings, not so much knee action, so we won't feel a lot going on in the quads. For the rotational deadlift, you only need one weight. You can use two if you need to load it up heavier if you have two lighter weights, but I'm just going to show today with one kettlebell. So we start the rotational deadlift in a staggered stance. So that's where we're going to keep one foot on the ground and the other foot is going to go back behind us. You can really play with this. It's not a big deal where you put the foot. You can put it out wider if you would like to have more stability. You can put it closer if that just feels more comfortable. You can go further back. Just really get somewhere that it is a comfortable position, staggered position, okay? Then we're going to grab the weight, and if my left foot is staying on the ground, I'm grabbing the weight with my right hand. Now, as I hinge back, probably be a little bit better if I show you this way at first so we can see that hip hinge. So remember that this is a deadlift, so I do want to make sure the action starts here with the hip. So as I go into my hip hinge, I just allow my body to turn, and I bring the bell towards the arch of my foot, towards the middle. So as I go down, I'm hinging and I'm rotating, big hip stretch. That's why I love this. And as I come up, I want to make sure I turn and open up my hips, externally rotate my left hip and open that up. That feels big stretch here as well. So notice that the toe is staying up, or the toe staying down, the heel comes up. Allow the hip hinge and rotate. So I'm letting all the action start and continuously move through the hip, all right? What I see a common error is that when people do this, they may see that the target eventually is that the bell goes down towards the foot, and so the tendency is to just reach, all right? So that's just more of an upper body exercise. I'm rounding my upper back. You know, that's not really what we're looking for. I want to see this hinge, so you can see it move back. The hinge, rotate. Good. If you were doing just regular deadlift, what would you do? You would hinge, right? So it would just look like this. Now all we're doing is simply just adding a little extra, just that rotation. I love that exercise. So that's the rotational deadlift. You can do it with a dumbbell as well. So if I had a dumbbell, it'd be very similar. Just hinge and reach. Boom. See that turn? Rotate, come up, squeeze. Excellent exercise. Number 2, we're going to go into the rotational lunge. So lunges can be, for this exercise, there's multiple variations of lunge. You can do a transverse lunge, lateral lunge, so on and so forth, but we're going to just go over the walking version and this reverse version. So I've got the bells up here. They can also go down here for this exercise, okay? I actually like them up here a little bit better. So as I step back with my right foot, I'm going to turn over my left. Come back up and switch. I let my head turn and the torso turn. So we'll show from this side. Step back, roughly 90-degree angles with your upper and lower leg. Turn. You can tap the knee or you can keep it slightly off. If I was going to do this with kettlebells, one thing I always tell people to do is if you're wearing a watch that you don't want to break the face, spin it around to this side. I would grab the bells, clean them up, and boom. I actually really like the walking version if you have the space to do so. Let's step, right into the next one, and repeat. That one I got a little off balance because I was talking, but show you that I can do it. There you go. All right, love those exercises. Good rotation of the hips, that you can really feel the loading and the turn into each hip, which is something a lot of golfers really struggle with. So a couple of my favorite exercises, I put them in the program all the time in Lift Heavy Swing Fast. Excuse me, I'm a little out of breath. I think it's 105 degrees right outside that door, and it's hot in this garage. So just doing a few movements of those, load them up heavy. When I'm doing them this time of the year, I don't want a ton of volume because I'm out playing golf. You can literally get away with doing, 6 reps per side if you load them up correctly. So if you are currently not a member of Lift Heavy Swing Fast and you want to see what these workouts are all about, click the link down in the description. You try a free workout. So thank you so much for watching, guys. If you have any questions, and I would love to know what videos you want to see in upcoming Movement Monday videos, so drop them down in the comments or send me a message, whatever. These videos are here to help. Like I said before, they're not going to be super fancy. Just want to give you some good demonstrations of some of my favorite movements that show up in our workouts. So thanks again for watching.